So I invite you to get comfortable. Find a posture where you can be attentive and alert, but also relaxed. If you're sitting straight up, allow the spine to stretch. Picture your head like a helium balloon floating above the rest of the body. And take a deep breath, allowing the shoulders and the chest to rise, rise, rise. And as you exhale, let everything go while the head remains suspended. Take another deep breath. And on the exhalation, let go of any thoughts about the past or what might be coming up later today. And on the next breath, take a deep inhalation and then exhale all of the expectations about this meditation, the meeting, getting anything from this at all. And on this next breath, take another big inhalation. And as you exhale, resolve to be here, present, right now. Drop in to this moment. Feel the silence that is there in that momentary pause between thoughts. Often we get caught up in so many thoughts that we feel as though we are stranded somewhere in the mind all throughout the day. Even though thoughts aren't actually happening in the head, we for some reason feel that they are. And we feel that we are located in that headspace. And that leaves us disconnected from everything that's happening below the neck. The body goes on performing all of its activities and daily functions, and we rarely check in with it. It's giving us all sorts of signals and messages, warnings, and other information. And a lot of times we're completely oblivious to it because we're so wrapped up in thoughts, in narrations, in memories and projections about a future. So right now, we want to come out of that whole cloud of headspace and find out what is actually happening below the neck. So I invite you to, in whatever way is most efficacious for you, drop down into the body. So this might be finding a particular place of sensation that you can feel in the chest or the torso, something that jumps out at you and seems noticeable, prevalent. It might be comfortable or it might be uncomfortable. There might be a tone of pleasantness or unpleasantness about it. It doesn't matter. We're just looking for some indication that there is sensation in the body. Once you've found this place of sensation, notice if it is there wholly unencumbered by any other thoughts or assumptions about it, or if the moment that you felt it, it brought with it a series of thoughts, a series of assumptions and meanings, perhaps memories and other associations regarding it. Do you even seem to notice where it is because you're seeing a mental image of the body or that region of the body seemingly grafted on top of it? So if the sensation is in your belly, do you see an actual belly or a torso that is supposedly your belly or torso? Do you have an internal mental map of some sort? Even if you're someone who doesn't have very vivid mental images, notice if there is something that still feels like a body map. Can you tell that there's a foot below a belly, which is below the head? If so, no matter how this is showing up, it's okay and very useful for our daily survival. But see if you can allow those to just float off. You don't have to pay attention to them, and you don't have to believe them. For right now, just allow all of the attention to soak into those sensations. We're not being forceful with it. We're not trying to make something happen. We're just acting like a dry sponge, soaking in the wetness of that sensation, being infused by whatever that sensation seems to be. See if you can feel that whatever seems to be the witness that might be located somewhere up in the head behind the eyes, that might be looking down on the sensation, that might be viewing it from a distance, that might be judging it, analyzing it, recognizing it. Notice that those sensations, those feelings of being the witnesser at a distance, can dissolve into the same kind of particles as the sensations in the torso or the chest are being made from. As you're soaking in those sensations in the belly, the chest, the limbs, wherever they are, just notice that what seems to be the witnesser of them is made of those same sensations. It takes a thought to create that distinction. So right now, let all thoughts go. If you have any feelings of anxiety or restlessness that come up when you remain silent and just feeling into the bodily sensations, recognize how you notice that those feelings are anxiety or restlessness. There is no such thing as an emotion, as an inherent object. There is no reality to something called anxiety or restlessness. So just take in the sensations that are there. And if you aren't feeling one of those two, see if there's another emotional tone that seems to be pervasively coloring this moment. Something that may be identifiable as loneliness or sadness or joy, ease, contentment. However it shows up, notice first the associated label that comes with it, and then allow the label to float off into space and come back to the actual raw sensation of the moment. Right now, it doesn't matter why we call it anxiety or restlessness or joy or stillness. We just want to be clear on what the actual sensations are that make up this experience. Setting all judgment aside, absorb equally into whatever that emotional tone happens to be. We navigate through life under the illusion that there is a me in here who is experiencing emotions. There is someone separate from the experiences, and that we are often at the mercy of these emotions that pass through like damaging weather patterns. We can't do anything but just brace for them, distract ourselves from them, try to stay safe until they blow past. But this is an illusion because there is no one there separate from the emotional experience. And the emotion itself is not a thing. There are simply sensations arising and passing, and no one who is even the witnesser of those sensations. So as you become more and more ingrained into these sensations, the one that seems to be separate from them starts to dissolve. Doesn't need to be reflection about the sensations. The sensations simply are. The sensations don't need to mean anything. They simply are. The sensations don't need to be changed or improved upon, to go away or to remain. They will be here for just as long as they are here, and then they will be gone again. Feel this ever changing display of sensations. moving around the space that sometimes might feel like a body, and other times might feel like a wide, empty, vast spaciousness with clouds of particles moving in and out, blinking off and on. And recognize that there is no one in there separate from any of those sensations. Sensations is all that there is. If a thought chimes in and tries to say something about the experience, or contradict it, or distract from it, just notice, does that thought create a reality? If there's no self in this vast, empty spaciousness, can a single thought create a self? Or is it simply more sound sensations passing through this same vast spaciousness? Any emotion that seems to come up, just feel the totality of the sensations of it. They join in with all of the other sensations that make up the constellation that we call a body. There is no difference between the sensations that make up the feeling of fear or joy or a foot or a head. Throughout the rest of the meeting, you have the opportunity to remain in contact with these sensations. You can either allow the body to reconfigure and feel the boundaries and feel the weight of the bum on the seat and the feet on the floor, or you can stay open and spacious. You can notice as you are speaking or hearing other people speak, if those words are actually coming from you or if they're emerging from the same spaciousness. And you can notice as you hear other people share and have thoughts and questions arise. Notice the emotional tone that arises with them. And instead of taking ownership of those emotions and of those stories, simply remain in contact as those sensations that arise and change. There need not be permanence in the sensations or in the feeling of one who is the witness of those sensations. Whatever you take yourself to be comes and goes just as frequently as these sensations arise and pass on again. There is no consistent you anywhere in experience. It is a pattern of thought and a pattern of sensation, constantly moving and constantly changing. Don't cling to any of it. Remain as free, spacious, unencumbered, and open as feels comfortable. And then gradually open your eyes, take a deep breath, and rejoin the room. Thank you.